Hello, 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 hello. Hola. Senor, senorita. Speak English? How is this? Working out? Hello? Can people hear me at a good level? Typically, this is about the level that I'm going to be talking to this day. Great, great. It seems okay. It seems okay. Oh, whoops. I I always get comments about my mic volume being weird every time I stream, and it's like I'm so confused. Whatever. I think that's the highest I can go without. No, that's the highest I can go without like mic boosting, and I really don't want to do that. The only thing we talk about on Skype is what Cutie Pie's been doing today. That's pretty much our daily conversations. It's pretty fun. God, okay, hold up. I'm a little bit cold. Let me go grab some water, and I'll be right back. Hello? Uh, hello, hello? Yeah, I'm back. Got some water, which will last me about 10 minutes. Uh, haven't even played the champion Syndra. I played her one game, and the general gist of it is that I will not be playing her because I feel like she's. I don't even want to even start playing her. I feel like she won't be available at World Championships, and so because of that, I am not really interested in playing her. We still haven't confirmed what patch we're playing on, which is kind of annoying me. Or what brackets we'll be seeing. Like, it's hard to prepare for matches when you don't know what the bracket looks like. Like, the only thing we know is that we'll be in CLGU's group with one of four possible teams, and then it's just like, okay, well, we have to take wild guesses at who's in our team, and kind of a little bit annoying. I'm doing subscriber stuff tomorrow. Tonight it's like so late tonight that I don't want to commit to anything because like if I do get around to finishing up subscriber stuff, it'll be like 2 a.m. So I want to commit like a full day, like a pretty decent amount of time streaming tomorrow, and then get to subscriber stuff. Sounds pretty much sounds like a pretty good idea. At least it did when I thought about it today. No, I'm good. I'm not sick. It better not be Diana patch. I'll be so pissed if it. No, it's definitely not Diana patch. They told us it'd be at least updated to the patch where regionals weren't on. If not, so it'd be at least the patch where they nerf the AD carries, if not later. I'm just not sure which one. Oh, did they already release AP Rengar nerfs? If it's a 0.8 ratio, he's probably a lot worse. Mm. There are 4 people in each group. 4 teams get buys, so it'll be World Elite, TSM, Azubu Frost, and ooh, I'm missing one. In 5, I'm retarded. Yeah, okay. So there's 4. That's 4. Get free buys out of group stage, so guaranteed top 8, and then group stage will be us, CLGU, and one of 4 teams or 2 of 4 teams that we don't know yet. I think it's gonna be Might be Saigon Jokers with the second place Korean team, or it could be IG with the second place Korean team. Could be IG with that other team. But yeah, like there's a lot of possibilities. I just want to know brackets. Like I want to know how it looks. But unfortunately, I haven't released that yet, so I'm kind of like I'm impatient. I really want to know, especially on like a tournament of this like magnitude. Like it's really nice to be able to know like what patch we're playing on and what the teams look like. I haven't even like I'll be honest. I played Syndra in a custom game, and that's it. I played against one Syndra and I crushed her, and it was hard for me to tell how good she was. So like the lane was over because she like tower dived me at 3 and died to tower. So it was like it wasn't even a good game for me to get any measurement of skill. I don't know how strong Syndra is. I reserve judgment until I play her. I'm probably not even gonna play her until after World Championships. So, any people coming asking for Syndra tips, Syndra advice, Syndra's relative strength will probably leave pretty disappointed. I don't wear contacts because like, I've tried. I literally like, this is so annoying. Like my eyes, like they blink extremely, or they're extremely sensitive. Or my eyelids. So like if I ever get too close to my eyelid, I instinctively blink. And so like to put in contacts took me like 35 minutes to put in one eye. And by then I was just like, I give up. Like I understand it could get easier, but it was like an infuriating 35 minutes. Like it was so bad. It was horrible. I don't wear gunners because they haven't given me free gunners. Also, I don't know. I don't like a lot of their styles. There's like a certain one I would wear, a couple ones, but a lot of them are just like not what I want. Mm. Like I'm down to get LASIK, but it's an expensive investment, and it's something that I'm looking to do when I get older. Which is weird to talk about because like I feel like if you ever use like the thing to get older speech, like it's always quite weird. But yeah, like in half a decade or something, I'll be looking to get LASIK. But until then, I'm quite comfortable with glasses. I actually need new glasses. I'm actually looking to buy new glasses and get a haircut tomorrow. I'm hoping I can fill out both of those. This thermos is sick. It's like replaced my water cup for just me drinking random shit out of. Curse qualify for championship? No. Do I play Zyra often? Not really. Ziggs reliable for a poke comp. AP Cog is always better for poke. Ziggs is better like straight Ziggs like he's really good at zoning certain areas off. Like he's not bad. It's just he lacks certain utility. Like AP Cog brings much longer range, much better utility with E, stronger disengage. Wow, Cruiser. They gave this to us for free. That's nice. Yeah, they're prescription gunners. I don't have them because quite frankly, I know I could have them. I just haven't asked. Oh, TF is so strong. The problem with a lot of TF is that like you have to succeed your ganks. Like it's paramount that you succeed. Like your first two of your first 3 ganks have to result in objective control, or summoner's blown, or most importantly kills. And if you don't get those in 2 of your first 3 ultimates, you will lose the game. That's typically the general gist of what I found out while playing TF. Like you have to be on the ball with your ultis, because if you mess one up, you're significantly behind. And especially if you build in ways that let you survive in lane, like a Lichbane rush middle, or a Abyssal rush, or or an early go per 10, or several go per 10, rather than straight Rabadons, you're going to be in some serious trouble transitioning into the mid late game, because you're only there to apply pressure, global pressure, and your scaling only gets good if you get farmed. We weren't in this tournament this week because Dominic had to do something this weekend, so we decided not to bother showing up because like we're obviously not gonna get any practice with a random jungler. We're gonna be playing. We played 5 games this week in terms of scrims, tourneys and scrims, and next 2 or 3 weeks before World Championships we'll be upping that to 7 days, I think. Maybe 6 days because I don't want people to get burned out too hard, but yeah, we're probably going to up our scrim schedule to 7 days. It's going to be, I don't know. It's going to be quite nice. Oh, TF can win 1v1s. He's actually pretty good 1v1. The issue with TF is that, like, he's very hard to play 1v1. And unfortunately, like, with the new patch, like, whatchamacallit, my move speed runes, so let me get to one of my move speed pages, are Sugar Rush Quints. And any special quints, you have a Sugar Rush, you have the October Winter or Razor runes quints do not work, and so like I can't run any move speed rune page, which is like a lot of those are vital on champions like TF and Anivia. So like I've been scrimming with like non-optimal runes, and like a lot of times like I've been getting caught and dying to like jungle pressure because I don't have move speed. It's really annoying. Oh. We won't face Blaze. Blaze is, oh, Blaze might be going in. I don't know. I am much more worried about Team IG than I am about Korean teams. In terms of what we're going to be facing for group stage. I feel like even CLG EU might give us... No, like CLG EU is like... It's a lot easier to scout for than... Oh, I don't know. I feel like IG would be the hardest group for specifically my team to get in group stage, because that's a team that like we have to use a lot of different resources to plan for. And a best of one in group stage is not what you want to be playing them against. Like in a best of 3 format, like it'd still be shady if we could beat them, especially where how we currently are right now before we like started this boot camp. And so I'm praying we don't get that team in group stage, because it's a team that I definitely don't want to be playing in the best of one. The thing is, I think like we've played against World Elite, and I don't think World Elite's that good. But like IG is like, I feel like is a lot better than World Elite is right now. So it's actually pretty funny how that works out, because World Elite gets the free buy, and IG has to go through the group stage. Oh, wait, ranked is broken? Queues are broken in general. Are you serious? What the heck does that mean? Uh it won't let me cancel? Oh my god, this patch is, yeah, kind of messed over a lot of things. Especially like my move speed quints being broken. On both accounts. I use the same quints on both accounts, and it's horrible. Ah. Interesting. Okay, so League of Legends is a little bit, queues are not start. Okay, well, I guess this is a horrible time to start streaming. Like, an absolutely horrible time. I'm tempted to just, like, open up an indie game and just start playing it, because I have to wait for these queues to go back up. Hey, I left it. That didn't seem like much of an issue. It's cool. I feel like I haven't spent a lot of time answering questions. My queue times aren't really that long anymore. So people who are curious have some questions that aren't related to like, is X OP, or please feel free to ask, because I hate answering questions like, is X OP? It feels like such a silly question. I think Messiah is a really good. He's probably the best TF in the world. That's no question. Oh my god. I have to slow this down because even I can't read that fast. I can't even read that fast either. What the heck? Is slow mo not going on? It is on, which is why I'm curious why it's not working out. How do you feel about the emergence of Jace? It's been happening in competitive games. Okay, thank you, Zangle. Yeah, it's been happening in competitive games for a long time now. Probably last couple minutes. Or last couple of weeks. Like Jace has seen like a sudden resurgence. And the reason why is that like he's really strong. Like in terms of his base damage values, I feel like they're too high for what they give. Like his E is at 20% max health hit, and it like pushes stuff back. And his Q is his base damage is insane when he goes through gate. Crumbs' school just started. Like he's probably the only one who's still taking classes. And what we're doing with Crumbs is he's only taking morning classes. So he takes morning classes and then he comes back and we scrim for like 9 hours and then he goes to sleep and repeats. It's quite brutal for him. I can understand why he's not streaming. Which sort of shifts in the meta would have to occur to make AD Assassins to the Talon valuable picks in competitive play? I just think Talon's like not that great. I think Pantheon has his niche in competitive play. He's got a very strong laning phase with global pressure. Like it's possible to run Pantheon competitive play, and Talon can be like a very specific counter pick. But right now he just doesn't. He's very risky to play, so you don't see any team playing him. He's just kind of weak as well. Unless you really get snowballed, he's really weak. I think unless World Elite has replaced their jungler, I thought World Elite's jungler was the biggest weakness when I saw their teams play. And if that's true, the large part of why World Elite did poorly, especially coming into the States for IPL face-off, show match, whatever that thing's called, I don't even know what it's called, was because the jungler just got out-jungled a lot of the games. And when he made it a lot of the responsibility for like impacting mid, impacting lanes comes to the jungler. So if your jungler is weak, like your whole team seems weak. Is it called IPL face? Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't know why we lose 70% of our game ones. We actually don't seem to do that anymore after we picked up a toy. But we still, yeah, no, I think that like curse has been lifted and replaced with a different one probably, which we'll figure out later. I don't really hate to mid against anyone. I hate mid-match. Certain mid-matchups are really brutal, and certain like junglers are really good. Like I feel like Diamond Procs puts so much pressure on your jungle and mid lane that if you don't like know how to handle it, even if you do know how to handle it, unless Diamond Procs gets caught early and set far behind, he's really hard to deal with. Messiah is really good because he knows how to pressure with TF when even when you shouldn't be able to. Like what happens when you play against Messiah's TF, and what happens when you play against any good TF is that he's on the map, and the minute he gets off the map, all your lanes play defensive because you don't know where he could go. Like he's such a strong presence on the game that by himself he single-handedly slows down the momentum of your team if you're playing against him, which is why and the fact that he lanes TF like extremely well. Like he does stuff where like he throws his wild cards. The wild cards go out in a cone, and what happens is it goes out in like 3 different cards. It's 2 sides, 1 middle, and typically what people do with TF and a lot of lower like not as skilled TF players would just look to use target the card onto the champion, the middle card. But what Messiah does is he can throw it like to the side and not anywhere targeted toward the creep wave and hit people with like the cards on the side. And that's really hard to pull out. Like I can't do that yet consistently, and I don't even know if I'll be able to do that after like a lot of games played. Like it's really hard to be able to do effectively, but he has like a pretty high percentage to be able to do that, and it makes the cards much harder to dodge too. So that's just one of the small things that makes him like an excellent TF player. We picking up a B team in the future? No. Abyssal isn't that good on TF after Abyssal nerf, because you're like to be in 600 range, like card range is like 1,000 range, and Abyssal 600 now, so it's not really worth it. Like I don't like it anymore. I sometimes still build Revolver on Cat. Oh, Gunblade though? I build Revolver and go to like Woda, but Gunblade typically never pick up anymore. It's just too much of a gold investment when you have like a 3.15 AP ratio combined. I just middle player is like really aggressive. I just their whole team is very aggressive. Like when I watch their videos, it's hilarious because it's like, what are they gonna do here? And then the minute you're like, okay, this is IG, they're probably gonna all 3 flash for that, and they do like they'll all flash over the same wall and go for it. Even if it's only like a 20%, 30%, 40% chance of getting the kill, they'll all commit for it just to show that they can do that kind of stuff to you. Like it's very funny, and like he builds like ridiculous. Like I've seen games where his item builds are literally like 2 blasting wands, a large rod, and an amp tome. And I'm just like, you have every item that could possibly build into something that's AP. What the heck? Because I can understand that in Dota, like if you build like separate items, but like in League of Legends, the most efficient items to buy are like the really high tier items. Like the faster you get those, the better in terms of gold value. Whereas in Dota, like gold value is inverse of that. Whereas the most gold efficient items are the cheapest ones, like stat sticks or whatever. They're +1 all stats. They're very cheap. But once you get to like Ultimate Orb, which is +10 to all stats, it's like super expensive in terms of gold efficiency cost. Whereas in League of Legends, it doesn't work out that way. In fact, that's actually kind of one of the reasons why it's hard to come back playing League of Legends, because of how gold efficiency works in this, like how gold efficient items work in this game. And that's something I'm kind of looking forward to in the future. I've heard that Riot's looking to change items. I feel like there are a lot of items that need to be like changed or added or rebalanced to make the game less dependent on picks and more dependent on like actual play. Mord is used quite a bit in tourneys, but it takes like a certain player to be able to use Mord. So right now, the only 2 people who play Mord that I can remember are ZZ Tai or from IG and Westdoor0204 from TT Dragon. Aside from that, most people don't really use Mordekaiser. It's hard to use Mordekaiser because there's like certain things you have to do for a Mord. They basically aren't popping. Like, huh. Yeah, Alex Ike also plays Mord, but not much anymore from what I understand. He's pretty much switched off from Mord. He's done a lot of different things. Interesting. Kennen versus Nivea matchup as Karthus versus Nivea. It's just putting pressure with Skittles is how you want to play that matchup. The minute the Nivea gets ahead in that matchup, or the longer the game goes, the better it is for Nivea because she just naturally wins that matchup as the game gets later and later. But if you can pressure her early and get kills on her early and have junglers follow you up, because it's much easier to gank the Karthus lane than it is to gank for the Nivea pre-6. If you get set the Nivea behind, you'll just roll her for the rest of the game. Yeah, it looks like NA keys blew up, so I'm pretty much just answering questions right now. I maxed W on Cat because it's better for utility in terms of ganks as well as dodging ganks and just making plays. The move speed on W gives you a lot of options, whereas maxing Q might be better for lane, but it doesn't give you as many options as it does W in terms of team fights and ganking. Cat's hardest matchups, it's gonna be LeBlanc. I think it's always been that champion has always giving Cat a hard time. I think now though it's a little bit better. Aside from that, probably Swain does really well. A lot of people pick 3 AD instead of 4 damage for mid because you auto attack harass quite a bit, especially on champions like Anivia, Zyra. You do have like what 600 range with Anivia, 625 with Annie, 575 with Zyra. So champions like that with long range, like you can look to trade with auto attacks. And that's why 3 AD would be pretty much always better. Favorite game other than League right now? I play Faster Than Light, which just got released. Because I'm a sucker for those types of indie games. I'll be honest. If you show me something that's like that or Binding of Isaac, I'll probably put in time with it. But that's the first game I played in like 3 months. First different game I played in 3 months. I've committed more than 30 minutes to. So it's not bad. It's a good game to play in between queues for me, pretty much. Faster Than Light's really really good, really fun. Regardless if LeBlanc isn't played by many people, like I'd still say she's really good. Diana's fine right now. I think she was way strong, really strong before nerfs, but after nerfs she's pretty good. I knew a lot of people who like had Warhammer action figures, but never many people who did it. Or who, played it. I think Victor's not bad. I think IG ZZTai is the only good Victor player in the world, though, from what I've seen. And that's another reason why I don't want to play against IG, because like that laser bug is still in the game, and I don't know if it'll be fixed by World Championships. And it's extremely frustrating not knowing. Like Victor becomes 50% harder to play against when you max E and you don't know where the E laser is going to. I'm actually really frustrated that that's probably not going to get fixed by World Championships. I know the queue time's messed up. I'm just answering questions right now, pretty much. Nivea has counter. I think Annie is probably one of the hardest counters to Nivea in lane. I think that's pretty much agreed upon that Annie does beat Nivea straight up. I've seen Froggen win the matchup like hard, but that's because he outskills it rather than yeah, I've seen him win the matchup 2-0 and still die to Annie because like even with Merc Tread, she has enough damage to egg you. It's quite brutal, especially because she also sets up the gank really well. I didn't watch the Voice solo top cat against TSM. I'm wearing the ESL shirt that says carry only that I got from ESL. Nice shirt. Vager's tournament viable right now, but he has to play against like non-shoving or really easy lane matchups, and like typically it's just less risk. Like it's so much more risky to use Veigar than it is to use other champions. Uh, Annie has much better laning phase than Veigar. Annie's got the only AP champion in the game with 625 range, 25 higher than Nivea. She's got on-demand stun, really easy setups with junglers, and a lot more upfront burst damage than Veigar. No, I've never bought RP. Every time you place top 4 at tournaments, you get free RP. Which is something that not many people know about, but yeah. So placing top 4 at regionals, we got some random RP, sorry, that I've just been using on random skin sales. Top common mistakes you see pros make. I think the most common mistake I see is just inefficient bottom warding. You have to know how to ward bottom correctly and how to cover like entrances, and it's apparently something that escapes a lot of teams because I can't really go into too much in depth, but pretty much a large majority of my team's kills are because people don't ward bottom lane correctly. It's very easy to take advantage of. Yeah, if League is broken, let me just go straight from here to here. I wonder what this says. Okay, I guess I don't know when this will be fixed. I might just stop my stream for a little bit and start it up when the client's back up because, yep. Show us the sweet Han skills, man. I'm probably so bad at Han now, like horrible at Han. The only thing I'd be good at if you let me play Han is gonna be like Swiftblade. Just give me Swiftblade and I'll just like farm for like 50 minutes and come out and just kill everyone. For tournaments, you have every rune and every buyable skin. Typically, they don't buy skins for you, so you have to buy them yourself. No, Malzahar still wouldn't be viable if QSS didn't reduce it didn't ignore the damage, because it's like you could still run out. I don't know. It's a large part of Malzahar's damage comes from being able to land his Q and his W. Like they're very large parts of their damage, and not having those be reliable is an issue for Malzahar. Always has been, always will be. Who's the best AD carry? I've been very I don't know. I really don't know. Typically, the best AD carry means like the best AD plus support combo, and I do not know which one is the best. Huh. I've seen Togath mid being tried a lot. I have never played it. What? TNC recommends DFG on Cat after Death Cap. In fact, that's his standard build is Death Cap Gunblade, or Death Cap Deathfire. I never played Syndra. No thoughts on Syndra right now. Most versatile mid would have to be like Anivia, Ari, or Karthus. You could probably do whatever you want with those three and be able to carry games, especially at low elo. And lane dominating champs with bad team fight potential are worth playing. Depends what else they bring, but some of them are, yes. Caston's quite viable. Kennen's viable but hard to fit sometimes. I was rushing Lichbane on TF because that's what Pharrell Lord does. But that build doesn't work unless you run AP per level blues. It's just not an effective build unless you run that. For some reason, like the extra like 10-15 AP helps out so much. Really? Oh, I got a Q pop. Success. Or maybe not. But at least I got a pop. My favorite streamer. I don't really watch many streams. I typically only watch tournament streams. I think even mid is good. Ziggs doesn't see much play because he doesn't fit in a lot of team comps. He's not bad, but like a lot of underplayed champions, he doesn't. The reason why you don't see many people play it is because many certain champions play is because people don't play those champions. If you put in like 1,000 games on any champion, you probably could be tournament viable or like tournament ready. But no one really wants to put in 1,000 games on like Ziggs to get them ready when you can put in like 150 on Morgana and be good, like, and be a lot more versatile in terms of team comps. I think Cassio is really good. Definitely top tier AP champion, but kind of skill reliant. Whereas you have to land a lot of stuff to make her powerful. She's also, I don't know, she's really good. She's very versatile. That's probably one of the best things about her. She's versatile, can do a lot of different things, and can AoE and shove the lane. Rai has overvalued mobility over and utility over damage. Not really. I will say the competitive community definitely values CC and utility a lot more because it's much easier to get kills, much easier to make plays when you have CC. So you rarely will see a team that has no CC. Typically, it's a team with more CCs that wins games. I don't play Heart of the Swarm. I think AP Rengar needs to get nerfed. Yeah, I know AP Rengar is probably get nerfed. You can buy this shirt at ESL.com somewhere. I'm not quite sure where. 30-minute wait if I relog. Hmm. What would you change about items if you could? I feel like right now a lot of the game is decided based on picks, and just how the pick order works. Since it's not like, uh, it's strategic, but it could be more strategic if, um, I feel like there's a lot more emphasis on picks than on anything else in this game. Like obviously you can outplay teams quite hard, but there's certain things that items should be able to do that lets you outplay teams that outpick you, at least to an extent. There should never be a situation where like, um, well, where I don't know, like there should be situations where where you get outpicked. Like I'm not advocating like there to be no situations where like you can't ever get outpicked. Like I feel like it's silly. Like you can definitely draft better than the other team and definitely outpick them. But I feel like there should be a role in which items play that allow there to be more versatility. I should say, because right now it's very quite linear what you build. Like just the best instance of this is like look at what AD carries build. Like and look at like the average build for AD carries. I can just say it off the top of my head would be Boots 3, Doran's Blade, Zerker Greaves, Vamp Scepter, and then we can go Thirster IE or Thirster Fan Dancer or like IE Fan Dancer into Last Whisper into like GA or Quicksilver. There we go. I finished off the AD item build for 99% of every AD carry in this game, and because it is by far the most efficient carry, it's just like it seems very like you really don't have other choices as an AD. I feel like that should be. It shouldn't be like that. I'm not exactly sure what they would do to change it, because I'll be frank, like I'm not a designer. I can tell if something's good. If it's good, if it's bad, whatever. But I'm not like the best designer, so I'll let other people handle that, and then maybe come to pros for feedback. Easiest AP carry, or the best AP carry I would always tell people to learn first is Morgana. Everything else is like, I would expect to learn later. Please do not log. Relog. Okay. I like the Doran's into I don't know if I like Rada on Zyra. I really don't think she doesn't need the max mana. I feel like Doran's into Rabadon's is a really good build for her, but I see a lot of Zyras go Rod. I'm unsure how that works out. I haven't really played Zyra much recently, so do you have a second recognition so that maybe as Bandalad? An easy champion? Second recommendation? I remember I used to say something, but I forgot what I used to say. Like a lot of these champions are like not that simple. As Morgana is very straightforward. You W the creep wave, and you run, or you try to throw Qs. Rise is like his laning phase isn't good enough to be where he's like you can just pick Rise in every situation. I really feel like Rise. People have started explaining the weaknesses of Rise. The fact that he can't shove in his laning phase is really weak, to the point where I don't really want to recommend Rise, because to a lot of new, in a lot of new player situations, you're gonna get smashed playing Rise. Probably Ari, to be honest. I think Ari is really good, and she teaches you how to be aggressive, or how to make full use of her ulti. Ari is definitely a good second Ari and Nivea are two good second choices. They're not too hard in their complexity, and there's a lot of learning curve on them. Annie actually might be decent too. Annie actually teaches you a lot. She doesn't have much mobility, which is why I don't see her much in competitive play, but Annie's really good. A rune setup that works for a majority of AP mids. You'd be fine running this rune setup for every AP mid in the game, I think. Or most of the AP mids. You have AP, MP5, AP Quints, MR Blues, and Magic Pen Reds. It's like, I can use this page for pretty much every AP in the game. Maybe change MP5 armor if you're using manaless champions like Cat, and you can pretty much use this build on anything. Good top with Karthus mid. Globals always do well with Karthus, so Shen would probably. Oh, actually, depends on the team comp. Vlad Karthus is really good. TSM used to do Kennen Karthus, but they dropped Kennen because he's kind of easily like kited in team fights. Maybe just a bruiser top lane would be best, like Jax Aurelia would be best with Karthus if you can't get Vlad. Cat's definitely my favorite mid. Kale Karthus is also very good. Your Karthus, both of those. They really disabled ranked. I pretty much never max Q over W on Katarina unless I really need to win the lane matchup and I can't go aggressive. $104 champions, how many Banshee teams get? I think 4 is decent. 4 is like perfect right now, I would say. 6 is not bad, but like 8 overall, 4 for each team would be really good. I'd also like to like split it up into like 2 first and then 2 after 3 picks, but that's a little bit too Dota-esque, and I don't think they're ever going to look to do that. But 4 bans seems okay. The new emblems look a little bit ugly. I'm max W on the new Cat. I think OG and doing blind pick as a tiebreaker is really smart. Well, not smart, but it builds hype for the final game. So it's very crowd pleasing, I should say. Sometimes it gets a little bit obnoxious, a little bit stupid when you have 2 of the same champion in the same game. But yeah, aside from that, what kind of comps does Cassiopeia fit in outside your cast? There are like some very specific comps. IG had a good Cassiopeia comp that I can't recall off the top of my head. Anything with Jarvan would probably be really good. Cat's definitely in a better spot competitively after the remake, but in terms of fun factor, I feel like she's fallen a little bit. Favorite tournaments will always be IPLs. IEMs are okay, but IPLs treat the players really well. So typically, like, most people will prefer IPLs. Ryze is weaker than other APs at level 6. How do you deal with that? It depends what APs. Typically, Ryze is really well against certain APs and really poorly against others. Like, Ryze is typically used as a counter pick to, like, what? Like, if you could just farm it out to late game, Ryze is a beast. But some of the times you may have to give up CS playing Ryze because he's very squishy early. How do you get the best out of your situation when your lane opponent counter picks you? A lot of times there's a reason why people pick champions where it's really hard to counter pick, like Anivia, Ari, Cassiopeia, Gragas, Karthus. Like those champions, like don't really have a solid counter pick. Like you can try Fizz versus Gragas, and that's supposedly going to be a counter pick, but like you can outplay that. Just like their kits are versatile enough to where you can outplay counter picks. But if you're looking at something like a hard counter, like you pick hmm, I don't know, something like you pick I'm trying to think of like a hard counter, like the hardest counter possible, and it's escaping me right now. Rise vs Morg isn't that hard. Talon to Morgana isn't that hard. Jarvan against Morgana actually is really good. Fizz into Rise, nope, not that hard. Rise into Veigar, nope, Veigar wins early. Like there are a lot of matchup people think are counters, which like are not like that hard. Annie vs TF, nope, not that hard without jungle pressure. Rise vs Vlad, Vlad can win early. There's a lot of different stuff. Pantheon versus Cast is probably gonna be really rough. And in that situation, if you run the right runes, if you can see it coming, and rune correctly, it's a lot easier to deal with because all you have to do is get out of lane phase and look to impact the other lanes. I think that's the best thing, the best advice. Typically, AP carries, if they have weak level early levels, they're much better after 6. So if you can just live to 6 and look to impact the game from there. A lot of times if you get counterpicked, you have to depend on your jungler, especially if your champion's not versatile enough to outplay the other champion. You have to depend on your jungler to help you out. Sometimes that kind of doesn't work out in solo queue, but I mean it is what it is. Nope, that's not a counter either. Fiora versus Morgana, you can win that matchup as Morg too. Gangplank versus Cassin's really hard. I'm gonna see if Pobutter actually got into a game. Nope. Liquid's in the game. How is he in the game? I guess that might be. That's probably an ARAM. Alright, so we have 3 people in queue. No one in the game yet. Kali versus 6. That's. Cat versus Morg. That's not bad. Brittle versus Cat isn't bad either. Rise versus Swain. That's. Ari versus Swain is actually probably really hard. I guess. Yorick versus a lot of champions middle is also really rough. Cassio versus Rise is a skill match. It's a pretty hard counter, but it's also a skill matchup. I don't know, like it's not like the hardest of counters because you can outskill that matchup as seen before. I think APE is much more viable than AP Trist. Nivea, Nivea Rise actually does well early. Hardest mid laner I've ever played against. Alex Ick was really good. But it's been too long since I played against like another out of country AP mid. Like recently Reggie's been the hardest one because he does very different things in lanes than other people. Especially in NA, like he just goes really aggressive, and you have to call him on it, or else like he just takes too many advantages. Morg versus Rise is the farm lane for Rise, but it's actually Morg wins the matchup because Rise can't out shove Morg. That's the big thing. Um, but it's not too bad for Rise on except for you can't roam really well, and you kind of get patient hold into your tower if you're not running teleport, which is why a lot of times you'll see Rises run teleport in that matchup. Um, but at regionals, TSM copied curse strategy where they took blue buff and gave it made at 1, which makes the matchup like impossible for Rise because you can't even put on good harass against that much spell vamp on Morgana, like infinite mana Morgana. Well, I consider a counter to Morg. Yeah, I would say Vlad's really, really strong to Morg, but you need levels for it. I've actually had a lot of trouble playing Rise versus Zill versus Rise. I think Rise actually does a really good job against Zill, better than a lot of people. Zill wins the lane, but it's hard. It's a skill matchup for sure. Piece of hair that's sticking. I don't know where it is. Zill's viable for competitive play, but the type of teamwork you need to pull off a Zill comp is much higher than other comps, which is why you typically don't see any team try a Zillion team comp unless they're really, really, really confident in their teamwork. To the point where like we had a Zillion comp, but it got shelved. To the point where I don't know if it's coming back before World Championship because it's very, very hard to run. Because if you mess up one Zillion ult, like you lose the game. Haven't played Syndra yet. Forum Post was updated. Okay. Rank in normal. Oh my god. Okay, I am gonna call it until probably later for the day. If it gets on within the next couple hours, I might go restream. If not, I'll just commit tomorrow to streaming because like it's getting a lot later than I wanted to in terms of stream. Like I started at like 7:20, or no, I started a little bit later than that, but yeah, This sucks. This sucks. Yeah, sorry guys. I'm gonna drop the stream now. I just answered questions for like an hour and a half. Not a big deal. That sucks that rank Q is disabled. Alright, no problem. Sorry guys. Looks like the client's not working out well with me today. Or with anyone today, I guess. But yeah. Hopefully, like, I'll definitely be streaming tomorrow. So if I don't stream later tonight, I'll definitely be looking for tomorrow to stream. So if you're looking to catch me actually play games instead of answering questions, go ahead and wait till tomorrow, guys. Aside from that, see you. Thank you for just staying randomly watching a guy answer questions for a bit. Goodbye.